a fabulous lineup as the jerseys rolled out of Mezzolombardo this morning. Blue skies yet again, some clouds and a few little raindrops, but it didn't dampen any of the enthusiasm for what was in store. A whole load of climbs, including a circuit at the end of the day that would beguile. Well, we had a three-rider breakaway that filtered down once Milia had been captured to Mihajlovic and indeed Baumann. They were up the road, they had a decent margin. In fact, it was built up to around about 4.5 minutes. Chase was kind of on, then we got into a tunnel, and this, just showing how dangerous the day can be. Unfortunately, it accounted for Puccio from Ineos Grenadiers, and a kind of a wake-up call, really, for everybody to be absolutely dead focused on what had been a slow day until this point. Well, things started to liven up. Little Trek wanted a piece of the day. Giulio Ciccone, of course, their chosen son, the leader overall in the green jersey, and it would look like it would be curtains for Mihajlovic and indeed Cohen Barman, who were up the road, but not for much longer, surely. Trying to bridge over to them with 50 kilometres to go, Tarozzi decided to give it a shake of the stick for Group Bardiani-Fiazzani, and that caused a little bit of a split in the pack. Others decided that if it was going to be a breakaway kind of day, and it was a possibility, they'd very much like to be involved. None of the major players, you might think, but Team Picnic Post and Elu did much of the driving to close the gap throughout the day. They policed this one as well, working, of course, for Romain Bardet ultimately. So we're all together with 28 kilometres to go as we hit our circuit. Some emotions, if you like, coming to the fore, just wondering whether they'd all get through at the start of our circuit safely. They did so. And then, indeed, it was the two climbs that characterised the circuit, one on each of the loops that we had to deal with of just over 16 kilometres. First time of asking, it was getting very selective. All the jerseys were together. Red, of course, of the points jersey with Gal, who has a very good sprint on him. Likewise, Ciccone, as we saw yesterday. Few others wanted to play the game, but would they be allowed to? That was the big question. Little Trek offering up support to Ciccone, with Gegenhardt earlier on. JP Lopez had also been there. Leonard Kamner also. Indeed, Ciccone looking around, seeing what the makeup of this group was. Splits in the valley. Bahrain also thinking about having a dig with Damiano Caruso. Fast man on the day. Sadly, Antonio Tiberi having to lead the race. Michael Storer, not a sprinter, didn't want the company of the select band of brothers he was in. That quartet was blown apart with 500 metres to go until the top of the climb, and then it was downhill and a grainy and gravelly run indeed to the line, emotionally speaking I am talking. Great roads we've been dealing with, and a great indeed road to potential glory as this man kicked off. Brilliant work by Michael Storer, leaving behind those who are still trying to reassemble themselves behind Romain Bardet, part of a group that included Jai Hindley, who's got a bit of a kick on him, as you well know, and Jefferson Japeda as well. Hindley himself with 5 kilometres to go, a modest advantage of just 13 seconds, but when he gets himself into this kind of time trialing mode, he can deliver absolutely spectacularly. And so it was that he drove for the line. Would he make it home? Well, the chase was not cohesive, I've got to say. Neither or none of any of those out front. And it was a select group that was about to swell, with the Bardet group now fracturing, and he was to bridge over, but they wouldn't lead each other in. And so, unfortunately, the gap hung for them, that is. Great news, of course, for Michael Storer, who is still out there, and all the jerseys were busy looking at each other. The red jersey and the white jersey here, teammates from Decathlon AG Tour La Mondiale, and that left off the leash Michael Storer to bring home a famous win, and by a handsome margin as well. 41 seconds in the end because of a lack of cohesion in the chase. But my goodness, that's a cushion that this man could sit on. 10 bonus seconds at the line, also going the way of the great Australian. He took the line handsomely so, didn't power over it, didn't need to. Meanwhile, it was a sprint for second place, bonus seconds still up for grabs, of course. That had to be taken extraordinarily seriously, and it was. At the line, Seixas just edging Bardet for the last of the bonuses. Ciccone, well placed, holds on to the points jersey. But really, this story today was all about tactics and fortitude. Bags full of that with Michael Storer. He brought it home absolutely superbly. He wears the green jersey with amazing pride. I'm proud of him as well. That was super to watch, and the racing, of course, will be going on with him in the green jersey. Here it is. Stora leads by 41 seconds over Seixas. Ciccone on the same time as Seixas at a 41-second margin. Felix Gall a further 4 seconds in arrears. Roman Bardet with a good finish today. Also in the frame, we race on with stage 3 tomorrow here in the Alps.